This is me, 5 years ago, 63 years old, overweight, with joints so stiff I creaked when I got out of bed in the morning. I used to joke that the only aerobic exercise I did was walking to the refrigerator. But I wasn't laughing. I spent 35 years as a civil engineer. I built bridges, I designed structures built to last 100 years. And at some point, I completely forgot to take care of the most important structure I would be responsible for: myself. I want to show you something else. This is my grandson Leo. He's 9 years old now, and that's exactly why I'm talking to you today. 5 years ago, Leo was 4 years old. He was running around this very yard right here, and he wanted me to chase him. Just chase him for fun. That's all he wanted. I walked about 12 meters before I had to stop. Heart racing, vision blurred. I had to grab onto the back fence to keep from falling. A 4-year-old boy looked at me and asked, "Grandpa, are you okay?" That was the moment. Not the warning I received from my doctor 2 weeks later, although that was also quite impactful. He made me sit down and told me bluntly, "Type 2 diabetes, severe hypertension," he said, and I quote, "Michael, you're a heart attack waiting to happen." My wife Carol had passed away 3 years earlier, a victim of cancer. I buried myself in work, sitting at a desk, immersed in grief. I stopped paying attention to everything. Everything. I'm an engineer. When I receive a structural report saying a bridge is about to collapse, I don't sit around feeling sorry for the bridge. I go there and fix it. So, I decided to fix it. Now, I need to be honest with you about something. When I decided to get back on track, I did what any sensible person does. I went online, and immediately I was overwhelmed. You've seen these guys before. The ones with matching gym clothes, perfect lighting, and the protein shake always within reach. They'll tell you that you need a 12-week periodization program, a macronutrient tracking app, a pre-workout, a post-workout, a creatine supplement, a set of resistance bands, a foam roller, a cold water soak, and, if you really want results, their $79 monthly coaching subscription. I'm 68 years old. I'm a retired engineer from Nashville. I don't need a cold water soak. Here's what I noticed because I paid attention. These channels, and I'm talking about some of the most popular fitness channels on this platform, have over 1,000 videos, each one, on the same subject, training. Think about that for a second. If the information were truly simple and complete, you wouldn't need 1,000 videos. You'd need maybe 5 or 6. The reason there are 1,000 videos isn't because fitness is complicated. It's because complicated content keeps you watching. Complex content sells supplements. Complex content makes you feel like you always need the next video to complete the picture. It's a planned addiction. And as someone who spent my career in engineering, I can attest, this structure is designed to hold your attention, not to free you. I'm not selling you anything, not an app, not a program, not a protein supplement. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, what worked and what didn't. That's all. I call my approach the minimum effective dose. It's a concept borrowed from pharmacology, but it applies perfectly here. The minimum effective dose is the smallest amount needed to produce the desired result. In medication, taking more than the minimum effective dose doesn't make you healthier. It just increases the risk of side effects. The same principle applies to exercise, especially for men and women over 50. Your body doesn't get stronger during the workout, it gets stronger during recovery. Training is just the signal. It tells your muscles, your cardiovascular system, your bones, adapt, get ready, there's a lot coming. The problem with spending 2 hours at the gym every day is that you never give the structure time to stabilize. In construction, we call this curing time. Concrete needs time to cure. Your muscles need time to recover. If you keep overloading the structure before it's firm, it doesn't get stronger, it deteriorates. So, Here's the complete program right off the bat. No mystery, no bundled sales. 10 minutes, 3 times a week. That's it. That's the whole thing. No gym membership, no equipment, at least not to start. Everything I do right here in this room. Body weight, gravity, a kitchen counter for support when I need it, a sturdy chair. That's your gym. Now, after a few months, I did buy a pull-up and dip bar. Spent about $100. Sits right in that corner. Best $100 I've spent since I retired. But you don't need it at the start, not even close. I want to give you the actual numbers because I'm an engineer, and engineers respect data. At 63, blood pressure averaging 158/96. Blood sugar in the pre-diabetic range, creeping toward a full diagnosis. 38 pounds overweight. My doctor was seriously talking about putting me on blood pressure medication indefinitely. At 68, today, blood pressure is 120/80. My doctor calls it textbook perfect. Blood sugar is completely normal. I've reversed the pre-diabetes. And according to the fitness assessments in my last annual physical, my cardiovascular health and upper body strength place me in the top 5% of men my age. I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not trying to be. But I'm a 68-year-old widower from Nashville who can sprint across a backyard and pick up a 9-year-old boy, and that is more than enough. Leo doesn't look back at me anymore and ask if I'm okay. Last week he told his mother I was the strongest grandpa in the world. I'll take it. I want to briefly tell you why this works, because understanding the mechanism matters. It helps you trust the process when things feel slow. When you do resistance exercise, even simple body weight movements, your body releases signals that tell the muscles to break down slightly and then rebuild thicker and stronger during rest. That's adaptation. That's the whole game. But here's the thing that nobody in the fitness industry talks about enough for older adults. As we age, the signaling becomes less efficient. It takes less workout to trigger adaptation, and it takes more recovery time to complete it. This is actually good news. It means that for people our age, less is genuinely more. The science is on our side. For those of you dealing with high blood pressure specifically, which is a large percentage of men over 60, moderate resistance training has been shown in multiple peer-reviewed studies to reduce systolic blood pressure significantly over 3 to 6 months. No medication required. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional of any kind. I'm a retired civil engineer who read a lot, talked to his doctor, and paid attention to what his own body was telling him. Everything I share is what worked for me. Your results will depend on your baseline, your consistency, and your individual health. Which brings me to the one thing I want you to take seriously. Before you start any exercise program, especially if you're over 50, especially if you have any pre-existing conditions, go see your doctor. Tell them what you're planning. Let them clear you. I know it sounds like a formality, but it isn't. It's just engineering. You wouldn't start building on a foundation you haven't inspected. Don't start a training program without knowing what you're working with. So here's what I'm going to do over the next handful of videos. I'm going to walk you through every single thing I did and every mistake I made along the way, because the mistakes matter too. I'll show you the exact movements I started with, how I progressed, how I dealt with the days I didn't want to do it, and how I stayed consistent without turning fitness into a religion or a second job. It's going to be maybe 5 or 6 videos, short ones, because if I can't explain something in 10 minutes, I probably don't understand it well enough myself. I'm not trying to build a channel empire here. I'm not going to post 3 videos a week until I run out of things to say and start doing reaction content. I'm going to give you the blueprint, the actual blueprint, and then I'm going to step back. Think of it like this. When I finished a bridge, I handed over the engineering report. Clean, complete, nothing missing. You didn't need me standing on the bridge every day reminding you how it worked. The structure stood on its own. That's what I want for you. I started this at 63, at the worst point of my health, after losing my wife, after years of neglecting everything that mattered physically. If I can do it, I promise you, with every conviction I have, you can too. It's 10 minutes, 3 times a week. You almost certainly have that time right now. The only question is whether you decide it's worth it. Leo thinks it is, and honestly, that was enough for me. Subscribe if you want the next one. Leave a comment. It genuinely helps me know someone is out there listening. And I'll see you in the next video, where we actually get to work.